The night was calm, yet the sky above the forest burned with strange blue light. The air smelled of smoke and electricity. Birds fled from the trees as a loud crash shook the ground. Ethan Cole, a young scientist who lived alone near the woods, ran outside with fear and curiosity. He had seen many storms in his life, but never something like this. The light came from deep inside the forest, where shadows moved like ghosts. His heart beat fast, and without thinking twice, he grabbed his flashlight and ran toward the glow. As he walked through the cold mist, the sound of metal creaking filled the silence. The ground was torn apart as if something huge had fallen from the sky. Soon he saw it, a shining silver pod, half buried in the earth, steam rising from its surface. It looked like no machine he had ever seen. The metal pulsed softly with blue light, almost like it was breathing. Ethan stepped closer, whispering, "What is this?" His voice trembled, but curiosity pushed him forward. He placed his hand on the smooth metal, and the pod reacted instantly. The surface shifted and opened with a hiss, releasing a wave of cold air. Ethan covered his face, coughing from the smoke. When the air cleared, he froze. Inside the pod lay a woman, not human. Her skin shimmered like silver under moonlight, her hair long and white like snow. Her ears were pointed, her lips pale, and her clothes made of glowing threads. She looked peaceful, almost like she was sleeping. Ethan's mind raced. Was she part of a government experiment? An alien, a dream? He leaned closer, noticing faint wounds on her arm. She was bleeding blue light instead of red blood. Without thinking, he reached out to check her pulse. The moment his fingers touched her skin, the world exploded in light. A sudden flash blinded him, and a burning pain ran through his hand. He fell back, gasping for air, as the woman's eyes snapped open, glowing silver and filled with shock. She stared at him like she had seen a ghost. Then she screamed, a sharp echoing cry that made the air vibrate. Ethan covered his ears. The ground shook again, trees bending from the force of her voice. When it stopped, she sat up quickly, breathing hard. Her eyes locked on Ethan. What have you done?" she said in a voice that sounded like wind and thunder mixed together. Ethan tried to speak, but no words came out. She looked around wildly, confused and scared, her hands glowing with blue energy. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to," he tried to say, but she cut him off. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" she shouted. The light from her hands grew brighter. Ethan raised his hands in fear. "I was only trying to help you." "You were hurt!" She froze, staring at him, her expression softening for a second. Her eyes moved to his face, full of human fear and honesty. For a brief moment, something inside her hesitated. But then her body shook and she pressed a glowing hand against her chest. She looked terrified now, not of Ethan, but of herself. "No, this cannot be," she whispered. "It's impossible." She looked down at her hands, glowing brighter and brighter. Ethan didn't understand, but he could see she was in pain. "You need help. Please let me—" She looked up again, eyes full of tears and rage. "You've doomed us both," she said softly. Before Ethan could reply, her body turned into pure light. The entire area glowed for a second, and then she was gone. The pod cracked apart, its energy fading, and the forest went silent again. Ethan fell to his knees, staring at the empty space where she had been. His hand still burned where he touched her. When he looked at his palm, faint silver marks glowed on his skin, like veins of light running beneath the surface. His heart pounded. "What just happened?" he whispered. The air was heavy and cold again, but the silence felt different, almost alive. He stumbled back toward his house, shaking. Every shadow in the forest seemed to watch him. When he reached his door, he collapsed on the floor, breathing hard. His mind replayed her face again and again. Those silver eyes, that scream, those words. "You've doomed us both." That night, he couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw her, floating in the blue light, looking straight at him. Then he heard her voice again, faint and soft, not from outside, but inside his head. Human. "What have you done to me?" Ethan sat up quickly, heart racing. The room was dark, but his hand still glowed faintly in the moonlight. He looked around, terrified. "Who's there?" he whispered. No one answered, but her voice came again, clearer this time, echoing in his mind. "You touched the forbidden energy. Now we are connected." He didn't know what that meant, but one thing was clear. This was only the beginning. The crash, the light, the strange woman. It was all leading to something far bigger than he could imagine. Somewhere out there, the alien queen was awake, afraid and angry, and now she was linked to him, far away from Earth. Beyond the edge of human understanding, the alien queen Serana stood in the glowing heart of her ship. Her body trembled, and her silver skin flickered with strange blue lines that pulsed like veins of light. Around her, the walls of her chamber responded to her emotions, waves of energy rippling through the floor. The ship's AI, a soft female voice, spoke calmly. "Your Majesty, your energy levels are unstable. You must rest." Serana's hands shook. "No, this is not instability. This is contamination." She looked down at her palm, remembering the moment the human touched her. The warmth of his hand still lingered, something she had never felt before. Her people, the Elendari, did not touch humans. It was forbidden. Human biology was too unstable, too primitive. Yet that one touch had done something impossible. She turned toward a mirror made of light and saw herself, her perfect silver skin now glowing with faint human warmth. Her pulse beat too fast. Her mind was full of strange emotions she didn't understand, fear, anger, confusion, and something else she refused to name. "How can a single human cause this?" she whispered. "It should be impossible," the AI responded. "Your molecular pattern is shifting, my queen. The contact seems to have altered your essence." Serana closed her eyes. "No, I am Elendari. I am pure. This cannot happen." But deep inside her, she knew it was happening. Her power felt weaker, but her senses sharper. She could hear faint whispers, not from her ship, but from somewhere far away. Ethan. The name came to her mind like an echo. She saw flashes, trees, rain, the frightened human man kneeling before her, his eyes full of worry, his voice trembling as he said, "I was only trying to help you." For a moment, her heart, something she had never truly felt before, seemed to ache. She shook her head. This connection must be broken. Meanwhile, on Earth, Ethan sat at his desk, eyes fixed on the glowing marks on his hand. He had tried everything, washing it, covering it, but the marks wouldn't fade. They seemed alive, pulsing softly whenever he thought about her. Every few minutes, he heard her voice again, soft but clear, whispering things he couldn't understand. Sometimes in English, sometimes in a strange language that sounded like wind and light. He hadn't slept since the crash. His computer screen was full of research, alien energy readings, cosmic signals, anything that could explain what happened. Then it happened again, a sharp sound in his head. "Human," the voice said. He froze.
You can talk to me?"
There was silence for a moment, then a cold, distant reply. "I did not choose this connection. You touched what was forbidden. Now our minds are bound." Ethan's heart raced. "Who are you?" There was a long pause before she answered. "I am Serana, Queen of the Elendari, and because of you, my power is failing." Ethan rubbed his forehead. "Look, I didn't mean to—" "Silence!" Her voice thundered in his mind. He gasped as the lights in his room flickered. "Do you have any idea what you've done? Your touch has changed the energy of my core. My people will sense it. They will know I am no longer pure." Her anger was real, but behind it, Ethan could feel something else. Fear. "Maybe I can help you," he said softly. "If you tell me what's happening, maybe I can—" "You can do nothing. You are a weak creature of flesh and bone. You've already done enough." Then the voice faded, leaving Ethan in silence. He sat there, shaking, his mind full of questions. He didn't know how or why, but he felt something strange, a pull inside him, like she was calling from far away. On her ship, Serana collapsed to her knees. Her guards rushed in, their silver armor glowing. "My queen, are you injured?" She waved them away, breathing hard. "Leave me." "But your energy—" "I said leave," she shouted, and her power burst outward, making the walls tremble. The guards stepped back in fear and left. When she was alone again, Serana looked at her reflection once more. Her eyes, once bright silver, now held a faint shade of blue. "Human blue!" She touched her face in disbelief. How could his touch do this? She whispered, her voice cracked. She was the strongest being of her kind, a ruler feared across galaxies. But now she felt fragile, almost human, and worse, she could feel him. Whenever he felt pain or fear, she sensed it too. Whenever he spoke her name in his mind, she heard it echo through her heart. It was unbearable. She turned to the control panel. "Prepare the jump engines," she ordered. "Set a course for the planet called Earth." The AI hesitated. Your Majesty, returning to the contact source could worsen the contamination. Serana's voice turned cold. I will find the human who caused this, and I will make him undo it, or destroy him trying. As the ship vanished into a streak of light, Ethan looked up from his window. The night sky above his house shimmered faintly with blue light, just like it had on the night of the crash. He didn't know it yet, but she was coming back. And this time, she wouldn't be a helpless stranger in a broken pod. She would come as a queen, powerful, angry, and afraid of what her heart was starting to feel. The bond between them had just begun. Days passed, but neither Ethan nor Serana could escape the strange bond between them. Every time Ethan tried to sleep, he saw flashes of her face, her glowing eyes, her trembling hands, her voice echoing through his thoughts. It was like she lived inside his mind now. Sometimes he could even feel her emotions, anger, confusion, fear, and sometimes loneliness. He tried to distract himself with work, studying the strange marks on his hand. They still glowed faintly under the skin like blue fire veins. He recorded the changes every hour, hoping to understand. But the more he tried to separate the science from the mystery, the more connected he felt to her. That night, as he was writing notes, the lights in his cabin flickered again. The air turned cold, and the same blue light from the crash filled the room. Ethan stood up, heart pounding. Nope, not again. A sharp hum filled the air, then a flash. When the light faded, she was there, the alien queen, Serana. She stood in front of him, tall, glowing faintly, her silver hair floating slightly as if touched by invisible wind. Her eyes locked on his, burning with both anger and confusion. She wore strange armor made of crystal and light. Her presence made the whole room feel alive. Ethan froze, unable to speak. She looked real, solid, but not completely. Her body shimmered, half material, half energy. Serana took a step forward. You, she said softly, her voice trembling with rage. What have you done to me? Ethan raised his hands. I didn't do anything. You crashed. You were hurt. I only tried to help. Her expression darkened. Your touch changed me. My body no longer obeys me. My powers... She stopped suddenly and pressed a hand to her chest. The light inside her flickered. They are unstable. You are a danger to my world, Ethan frowned. Danger? I'm not the one who's attacking people with glowing hands. Her eyes flared with light and every glass object in the room shattered instantly. Ethan ducked, covering his head. Stop, please! I don't even know what's happening. Serana hesitated. Her breath came fast, her hands shaking. She looked at the destruction around her. Then at him, standing there, terrified, but still trying to reason with her. For a moment she saw no monster, no threat, only a human who didn't understand what he had stumbled into. Her voice softened slightly. You feel it too, don't you? Ethan blinked. Feel what? The pull. The connection. She stepped closer. When you sleep, do you see me? When you wake, do you hear my voice? Ethan's lips parted, but no words came. He didn't need to answer. The truth was clear in his eyes. Serana looked down, her anger fading into something else. Confusion, sorrow, and something she couldn't explain. This should not be possible, she whispered. No human and Ilandari have ever shared a mind link. Our energies are not compatible, and yet... She looked up again, eyes full of emotion. I can feel your thoughts. Your fear, your kindness. Ethan slowly lowered his hands. Then maybe this connection isn't a curse, he said gently. Maybe it's trying to show us something. She stepped back, shaking her head. You don't understand. My people will see this as weakness. They will come for you, and for me. This link breaks every law of our kind. Ethan took a careful step forward. Then help me understand. Tell me what this means. Maybe I can... Before he could finish, her body flickered again. A surge of energy rushed through the room, and suddenly Ethan felt something pull at his mind. The world spun, colors blurred, and then everything went white. He opened his eyes to find himself standing in a vast glowing field under two suns. He looked around, confused. Where am I? Serana was beside him, also looking surprised. This is my mind, she said softly. The link has deepened. We are inside the connection itself. Ethan turned toward her. This is incredible. But Serana didn't answer. Her eyes were fixed on something far away. A vision of her people standing in rows, her generals speaking. He could hear their voices in her mind. The queen has been corrupted. She must be contained. Serana's face turned pale. They know, she whispered. They can feel the change in me. Ethan reached out instinctively. Serana. The moment his hand touched hers again, the ground shook. A wave of light burst between them, and for a split second, both of them saw into each other's hearts. His memories of a lonely childhood, of years spent chasing knowledge and never finding connection. Her memories of endless duty, of ruling a people without ever feeling love. Then, everything went dark. They both gasped as they returned to the real world, falling to the floor. Ethan looked at her, stunned. I saw your world. Serana sat up slowly, her voice quiet. And I saw yours. There was silence between them. Something had changed. The anger was gone now, replaced by confusion, and a strange warmth that neither could deny. Serana stood up, looking down at him. This bond. It will destroy us both, she said softly. And yet, I cannot break it. Ethan looked into her eyes, glowing with soft blue light. Then maybe we shouldn't try to break it, he said. Maybe it's meant to happen. For the first time, Serana didn't answer. She turned away, staring out the window at the moonlight. Her voice trembled when she spoke again. If my people find me here, they will kill you. Ethan smiled faintly. Then we'll have to make sure they don't. Serana looked at him again, eyes full of conflict, part fear, part curiosity, and something that felt dangerously close to affection. For the first time in her life, the alien queen felt her heart beating fast, and for the first time, she didn't know if she wanted it to stop. The silence in Ethan's cabin lasted for a long time after Serana disappeared. One moment she was standing before him, glowing and fierce, and the next, gone, like a breath of light fading into the air. But even after she left, her presence didn't vanish. He could still feel her in his thoughts, a quiet whisper in the back of his mind. Days passed. Ethan barely ate or slept. The marks on his hand had started spreading slowly across his arm, glowing brighter whenever he thought about her. Every time he tried to ignore it, he would hear her voice, soft, distant, calling his name. Sometimes it sounded angry, sometimes afraid. Far away in space on her ship, Serana stood in the center of a glowing chamber. Around her, crystal machines hummed softly, scanning her body. The results appeared in lines of light floating before her eyes. Her expression changed from confusion to shock as she read them. This cannot be, she whispered. Her ship's AI spoke calmly. Your Majesty, the readings are clear. There is a new energy forming inside you. It is growing rapidly. Serana took a step back. That's impossible. Elendari don't reproduce this way, especially not with humans. The energy pattern is hybrid, the AI replied. Half Elendari, half human. Her breath caught in her throat. Her body felt weak. She placed a hand over her stomach, her fingers trembling. No, this is a mistake. It cannot happen. But the ship continued scanning her, and every reading confirmed the truth. Inside her, something new was forming, a small, glowing spark of life. A life that should not exist. Serana felt her knees weaken, and she collapsed to the floor. What have I done? She whispered, her voice breaking. How could one human touch cause this? The AI's voice softened. Your Majesty, if your council learns of this, they will see it as corruption. They may declare you unfit to rule. Serana closed her eyes, pain twisting in her chest. She was a queen, feared and respected across galaxies. Yet at that moment she felt helpless. The forbidden connection with a human had done something impossible, something that defied every law of her world. Back on Earth, Ethan woke up one night drenched in sweat. He had been dreaming again, only this time it wasn't just a dream. He saw Serana in pain, falling to her knees, crying out his name in her mind. He could feel her fear. He sat up quickly, breathing hard. Serana, he called into the darkness. What's happening to you? There was no answer, but the burning in his arm grew stronger. He could sense her somewhere far away, her emotions reaching him like waves, confusion, guilt, and deep sorrow. He ran to his computer, trying to track the same strange energy signal that had appeared when she first arrived. The readings flickered wildly, showing her ship's presence moving closer to Earth again. She's coming back, he whispered. In the cold silence of space, Serana stood before her ship's main window, staring at the blue planet below, Earth. She could see it clearly now, so small and fragile. Why can't I stop thinking about him? She murmured, Why does his presence keep pulling me back? The AI answered, the connection between you is not only emotional, it is biological now. Your energies have merged. The new life within you shares both your essence and his. Serana's hands tightened into fists. Then I must end it. This thing inside me, it will destroy me and him. But when she looked down at herself, a strange warmth spread through her chest. That small flicker of life inside her felt innocent, pure. It didn't feel like corruption. It felt alive, curious, peaceful. She turned away, tears glowing faintly on her silver cheeks. Why does it feel beautiful? She whispered. Before the AI could answer, the ship's alarms began to ring. Warning. High-energy signatures detected nearby. Ilindari vessels approaching. Serana's eyes widened. They found me, the AI replied. Your energy readings have changed too much. They know, my queen. They are coming to take you. Serana stood tall, her fear replaced by cold determination. If they come, they will not take me alive. Meanwhile on Earth, Ethan's cabin lights flickered again. The ground shook as a beam of light struck the forest. He ran outside and saw it, her ship descending silently, glowing like a falling star. He shielded his eyes as the blue light surrounded him. When it faded, Serana stood there again, pale, weak, but still breathtaking. Her energy was unstable, flickering like a dying flame. Serana, he whispered, stepping closer. You're hurt. She looked at him with tears in her glowing eyes. You should not have seen me again, human. He reached out carefully, but she shook her head. No, don't touch me. The connection has already gone too far. Tell me what's happening, Ethan said. I feel your pain. I know something's wrong. She took a deep breath, trembling. There is something growing inside me. A life that should never exist. It carries both of us. Ethan froze, his eyes widening. You mean? She nodded slowly. Yes, your touch did this. Her voice cracked as she looked down, touching her stomach lightly. It's impossible, and yet it's real. Ethan stepped closer, his face pale. Then we'll find a way to fix it. Or protect it. Whatever it takes. Serana looked at him, her lips trembling between anger and heartbreak. You don't understand. If my people find me like this, they will kill me. And if they sense your energy within me. She looked away, her voice shaking. They will destroy your planet. A cold wind blew through the forest. Above them, the stars glowed faintly blue. Serana lifted her eyes to the sky, tears falling silently. The impossible has already begun, she whispered. And as the light from her ship pulsed in the distance, Ethan realized that their worlds were now tied by something far beyond reason, something powerful, dangerous and alive. The night sky over the forest glowed blue again, but this time the light was not peaceful. It was sharp and restless, full of danger. Ethan and Serana stood in the open field near the crash site. The air vibrated around them. She could sense it. Her people were coming. They found me, Serana whispered, her eyes scanning the sky. They followed my energy trail. Ethan looked up and saw distant lights moving among the clouds, fast, silent, and silver like shooting stars. You mean your people? He asked. Yes, she said quietly. My generals, my guards. They will not come to save me, Ethan. They will come to end me. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. End you? But why? You're their queen. Serana turned her glowing eyes toward him. Not anymore. They think I am corrupted, changed by a human. To them, I am a threat to our purity, a danger to our world. Ethan stepped closer, his voice firm. Then we'll run. We'll hide until we find a way. Serana shook her head slowly. You cannot hide from the Ilindari. They see everything. Their ships can sense life energy from across planets. A sudden sound cut through the air, a deep hum, low and heavy. The forest trees began to sway as 3 silver ships descended through the clouds, their lights bright like burning suns. Ethan's heart raced. He grabbed Serana's hand without thinking. Then we fight, he said. Serana's hand trembled in his. She looked down at their joined hands, and for the first time she didn't pull away. You are foolish, she whispered, but brave. Her eyes softened, and something in her heart stirred again. That strange, human feeling she couldn't control. The ships landed around them in a triangle formation, their metallic surfaces reflecting the moonlight. A deep voice echoed from the largest one. Queen Serana of the Ilindari, surrender yourself. You have broken the sacred law. Serana straightened her shoulders, her face hard but her voice calm. I am your queen. You will not speak to me like a criminal. The air shimmered, and a tall figure stepped out of the light. Her general, Lord Varen, his armor shining like ice. His eyes glowed white. You were our queen, he said coldly. Now you are a danger to the Empire. Your energy is unstable, your body changed. The Council demands your removal. Ethan stepped forward, his voice rising. She's not a danger. She just needs help. Varen's gaze shifted toward him, full of disgust. A human, he said sharply. So this is the creature that infected you. Before Ethan could speak, a wave of energy threw him back. He hit the ground hard, his vision blurring. Stop! Serana shouted, her voice echoing like thunder. She raised her hand, and a blast of blue light shot out, creating a shield between Ethan and the soldiers. The air crackled with power. You will not harm him! Varen's eyes narrowed. You protect him? After what he has done to you? Serana stood tall, her silver hair whipping in the wind. He has done nothing but show me mercy, something we have forgotten how to give. Her words stunned everyone for a moment. The soldiers hesitated, unsure if they should attack. Varen clenched his fists. You speak like a human now. This only proves your corruption. Serana's hands glowed brighter. Then so be it. A fierce beam of light shot from her palms, striking the ground between them. The explosion shook the forest. Trees fell and the ground cracked open. Ethan crawled toward her, coughing through the smoke. Serana, stop! You'll kill yourself! But she didn't stop. Her power was burning out of control, her body glowing too bright. Her emotions, anger, pain, fear, all mixed into one storm. Finally, she screamed, and a wave of pure energy burst from her, pushing everyone away. The ship's lights flickered and died. Silence fell over the battlefield. When the smoke cleared, the soldiers were gone, either retreated or thrown far away. Serana collapsed to her knees, breathing hard. Ethan ran to her side and caught her before she fell. Her skin was cold, her glow dimming. You're hurt, he said. She shook her head weakly. No, just tired. My powers, they're unstable now. Ethan helped her stand. The forest around them was in ruins. We need to go, he said softly. They'll come back. Serana looked at him, really looked at him, with tears in her glowing eyes. Why are you helping me? You could run, hide, forget me. Ethan smiled faintly. Because I don't leave people behind. Not even alien queens. For a moment, she just stared at him, trying to understand the strange warmth inside her chest. It wasn't fear. It wasn't duty. It was something she had never felt before. Something human. Finally, she nodded. Then we go together. They ran through the forest, the faint light of dawn starting to break across the sky. Behind them, the ships began to rise again, searching. The hunt had not ended. It had only begun. As they reached a hidden cave near the river, Serana stopped and looked up at the sky. They will not stop until they find me, she said quietly. Ethan looked at her glowing hand and then at the faint light under her skin, the spark of new life growing inside her. Then we'll make sure they never do, he said. We'll find a way to protect you. And the child, Serana's breath caught. She touched her stomach gently, her eyes softening. The child, she repeated in a whisper, as if saying it made it real. For the first time she smiled faintly, small, fragile, but real. You are a strange human, Ethan Cole, she said softly. You make me believe in things I was never meant to feel. He looked at her, his voice quiet but firm. Maybe that's the point, Serana. Maybe this, all of it, was meant to happen. She didn't answer. But deep inside she felt something powerful. Not just fear anymore, but hope. And far above them, hidden behind the clouds, the Elendari fleet watched silently, waiting for their next chance to strike. The war between two worlds had begun, and love had started it. The days passed slowly as Ethan and Serana hid deep inside the forest caves. Outside the world was quiet, but both of them knew it was only the calm before another storm. The Elendari ships still roamed the skies, searching for her, scanning every mountain and valley for the faint trace of her energy. Inside the cave, a small fire burned softly. Ethan sat near it, staring at the flames. He had built a small shelter using old wood and blankets, trying to make the place feel a little more like home. Serana sat beside him, her silver hair catching the light from the fire, her face pale and thoughtful. She had become weaker over the last few days, Her glowing skin had dimmed, her powers unpredictable. Sometimes her hands sparked with blue light when she dreamed. Other times, she woke up trembling, whispering words in her own alien tongue. Ethan noticed it all, but he said nothing. He just stayed close, ready to help her if she needed him. That night, as the wind howled outside the cave, Serana suddenly gasped. She pressed her hand to her stomach and closed her eyes. Ethan immediately rushed to her side. "Serana, what's wrong?" She didn't answer at first. Her breathing was fast, and her whole body glowed faintly from within. After a moment, she looked up at him, her voice trembling. "I felt it. The child. It moved." Ethan froze. He didn't know what to say. A part of him was amazed, another part terrified. "Is that normal?" She shook her head slowly. "No, it's growing too fast. The life energy is strange. It feels both Elendari and human. It shouldn't be possible." Ethan sat beside her, gently taking her hand. "Maybe it's something new, something that's supposed to exist.